Hey everybody, my name is Brenna and welcome back to my channel. I am an indie author and last month I participated in NaNoWriMo, which is National Novel Writing Month. And I'm just going to do a quick wrap up about how everything went for me and maybe some things that I learned. Here we go. Overall, I had a pretty good Nano. I did meet the 50K word goal for the month, and I also finished writing a novel. So, for major goals, I did win. And I had a pretty good time. I think my average word count every day was somewhere around like 1,800 words or something like that to meet the goal. But not every day was great. I did have some days where I only wrote 50 or 60 words, and that was just so that I could say that I had written that day because I really wanted the badges. I think my highest word count day was somewhere right over 4,000, and that was towards the end of the novel when I really wanted to finish the novel. I had already finished Nano, but I wanted to finish the novel before the end of the month. I did officially win Nano on the 27th, but I didn't finish my novel until the 29th. But I still feel that that was okay, and my total word count for the whole month was somewhere around 53,200 or so words. But I thought that that was pretty good considering I released a book last month and was doing some promo and stuff for it and doing other indie author things as well as trying to post videos. I think I've posted about 2 videos a week in November, which is a really big deal for me because I had never posted that many videos before. I just started doing AuthorTube, a couple months ago. So having to spend the time every week to put together and edit the videos was a lot for me. The vlogs were a lot. Before Nano began, I showed my tracker. So here's my tracker again. I haven't finished it out for the month, which I guess I should have done. Before I did the same thing when I was showing my tracker. I hadn't finished it completely. I did my bar graph showing how I've been doing. The black line is where Nano, their suggested word count, and the yellow line is mine. And then I just need to put my 53,000 down there. But I did pretty good. You can see the gold boxes are days that I was over the word count, the suggested word count. And this brownish purplish color are the days that I was below the suggested word count. There weren't any days that I didn't write at all. My lowest word count day, like I said, I think was somewhere around like 40 words. And that was just me writing just a couple sentences just so that I could post that day. But, I'm not upset about it. I'm really proud of myself for having completed Nano. This is my 4th year winning Nano. It's my 4th year doing Nano. I'm pretty proud of my streak. But, just because I managed to complete Nano, and I also have this, graph that Bethany Altazada had put in her November Writerly Care packages. And I printed it off and stuck it in my bullet journal. And every time I wrote 1,000 words, I got to fill in a bubble. So it was nice to have as well. Just because I did meet my goal doesn't mean that there weren't days that I struggled, because I did. Towards the end of the month, I went off of my outline a little bit and kind of tossed out, I think in Save the Cat, it's like the fun and games. I kind of tossed out part of that and I did something else. It made writing a little bit slow on those days because I wasn't following specifically something I had already planned. I pantsed it a little bit in the middle. But I still ended in the same place because I did write an outline and I had, my idea of what I wanted to do. I know some writers don't use outlines, but they work for me. I like being able to sit down at the computer and knowing what I'm going to be doing next. So I appreciated having the outline, and then towards the end of the month when I didn't have it, it made for some slower writing days because I wasn't sure what I was doing. But, on those days that I didn't really feel like writing, like I said, I wrote just a little bit just to be able to get the badge. And then some days, after writing 200 or 300 words, I would just stop and I read I read books this month. I haven't been reading hardly any. I didn't read very much last month, and this month I actually read a little bit. Notice towards the middle I didn't do much reading, but towards the end, whenever I knew that the book was almost over, my book was almost over, and then like you can see, I finished Nano on the 27th, which is this day. I didn't read it all that day, but the next day I read 4 different books. Now, granted, one of the books was only like 70 pages. It was just a novella. It's not technically a book, but Goodreads considers it a book, so I consider it a book. But, some of them were pretty big, and, some of them I skim read. Quite a few of the books that I read towards the end of the month were books that I had read before. I was rereading just because I was in the mood to read, and I didn't feel like really devoting the headspace to like a brand new novel. So I reread, just some favorites, and I enjoyed it. Self-care. That's something that shouldn't be put aside during Nano just because you want to write the 50,000 words. So that was my self-care. I also spent some time playing video games as well. On the weekends, I usually took it pretty easy. The first day and then the last day, that would be the Sunday and then the Saturday. And you can see the Sunday and the Saturday. Here's the Saturday was a low day. The Sunday and Saturday, both low days. It was a Sunday and then like a Wednesday were both low days. I didn't stress a lot about hitting the word count on the weekends because I made sure to go over during the week. So I wasn't stressed on the weekends and I could spend time with family. And then towards the end of the month, it turned out to be a really good thing because where I live, the schools went to online learning. So my kids were home and I was having to help them with their schoolwork and stuff. So I didn't have as much time to write during the day as I had previously as well. So that's, just another thing that you just kind of have to figure it out when you're a writer and you're working from home. You're writing at home and your family's there. You just kind of have to suck it up and and just, squeeze some time in. I would put my headphones on and turn on some music or ambient sound or something and just try to write the best I could when the family was around. Usually I would try to, put a movie on or, it would almost always be in the evening or during the day whenever my son occasionally would take a nap and, and it would just be quiet. And I would, those few quiet times that I had, like, I pounced on them and I did most of my writing. Like, even if I didn't feel like writing, if my son was settled down and was watching, like a TV show and had a snack and he was just silent, I went to write, even if I didn't feel like it right then, because I had to. I didn't have the option to not just write when I could. And it's not my preferred way of writing. I do prefer it to be quiet with a little like ambient, like rain sounds, or like it depends on what the scene I'm writing is, right? I like writing scenes where it's raining outside because I like putting on the ambient rain sounds. But there was, in this book specifically, it took place beside an ocean, so I would use ocean sounds as well to kind of, block out the noise. That's just what worked for me this month. That was my Nano kind of in a nutshell. If you didn't want to watch all of my weekly vlogs, if you do, I'll leave the playlist of them in the cards and you can watch me struggle from word 1 to the end of the novel. I appreciate everybody who's gone on this journey with me and all the other authors and writers out there who have participated in Nano, and whether you completed it or not, if you wrote anything, great job, good for you. That's more words than you had before. I am proud of all of us for trying, just trying, that's all. You don't have to succeed to be proud of yourself. And sometimes, that the way that Nano is made, 50,000 words in a month, like that's a lot. But some people don't write that way. Maybe they didn't want to write 50,000 words. Maybe you didn't want to write 50,000 words. Maybe you just wanted to get into kind of a habit of writing every day or just devoting some kind of time for creativity every day. And that's also fine. But I wanted to finish a novel this month and I was I was able to do that. I really enjoy doing Nano. I enjoy the process of drafting in that way relatively quickly. I enjoy finishing the novel, you know, in a set period of time. It gives me the drive to finish the novel because there's quite a few novels I've started and I haven't finished. My drafts are usually shorter. I'm a little bit of an underwriter, so my drafts are usually shorter, so I'm able to finish my novel relatively quickly. I do think this is the fastest I've ever completed a novel from, the first word to the last word. And I had a great time doing Nano. Like I said before, I found a lot of new AuthorTuber channels to follow, and I found a lot of new people on Instagram to follow. And I'm just happy to be part of this community. I'm happy that there are so many writers out there that are so encouraging and uplifting to other people, and it just makes my heart happy. Just being in the community of writers that are so generous with their time and their knowledge, because I learn something new. Every time I watch a video, I learn something new. I can almost always find something to take away from every video I watch, whether the videos are about Nano or whatever. I think that if it wasn't, for Nano, I would have found such a large community of people. And so I really enjoy how Nano brings all the writers and everything together a few times a year so that we can all aim for one goal together. And, whether we succeeded or not, we tried. Now that Nano's over, I'm going to let the novel that I just finished rest. The novel I wrote was book 3 in my Beldoran series. The first book came out this month, and the next book is going to come out next year. And that book is the one I'm going to start working on now. So how did you all do for Nano if you were participating? Did you meet your word goal? Did you finish your novel? How did everything go? Leave a comment down below and let me know how your month went and what are your plans for your novel now that you've got it finished. What do you plan to do with your novel if you finished one, or just your Nano project in general? I encourage everybody to not just leave it sitting for too long, to not just write that 50K and then just be done with it. If you did hit your 50K, a lot of people, they get kind of burn out on their Nano novels and they don't want to look at them again. And I admit I have done that more than once. After I wrote my first Nano, after I wrote that book and I finished it, I didn't touch it again for probably at least a year. But I have since gone back to it, and that's the book that I released in November, was my first Nano book. So if you're watching and you are a fellow author tuber and you have a channel, then put it down below so that I can come check it out and get to know you better. Thank you everybody for watching, and I will leave my Facebook and Instagram down below if you want to follow me on any other platform. And until next time, bye.